The French national basketball team is the national basketball team representing France. It is administrated by the Fédération Française de basketball. France has been a regular at FIBA EuroBasket, with 37 appearances, the most of any nation. Its best results have been a gold medal at FIBA EuroBasket 2013 and silver medals in 1949 and 2011. The French squad has also won 2 silver medals at the Summer Olympics in 1948 and 2000. France's best result at the FIBA Basketball World Cup came in 2014, when it finished in 3rd place. History. Throughout its history, France's national basketball team has experienced many ups and downs. The time periods where the national team earned medals have been quite streaky. In Europe, Team France started out as a fierce competitor. The team won 5 medals at the FIBA EuroBasket between 1937 and 1959. 1937, bronze medal, 3-2 overall, second in preliminary group, lost semi-final, won bronze medal match. 1947, silver medal, 5-1 overall, round-robin tournament, no playoffs. 1949, bronze medal, 6-3 overall, second in preliminary group at 3-1, won semi-final group in 3-way tiebreaker with 2-1 record, lost semi-final, won bronze medal match. 1953, bronze medal, 6-4 overall, second in preliminary group at 2-1, second position of 4-way tiebreaker for second place in final round with 4-3 record. 1959, bronze medal, 7-3 overall, second in preliminary group at 3-1, first in semi-final round at 3-0, third in final round with 1-2 record. Its period of glory at the world stage began in the late 1940s, early 1950s. At the 1948 Olympics in London, the France team, led by Robert Busnel, won an Olympic silver medal, the first Olympic medal in its history. The French finished second only to the United States. In the wake of this Olympic medal, France, led by captain André Vacheresse, won 3 consecutive medals, including silver at the EuroBasket 1949, and bronze at the EuroBasket 1951 and the EuroBasket 1953. The following years were less glorious. France's basketball team seemingly declined gradually to disappear almost completely from the 2 major world competitions during the 1960s and 1970s. Then, the 1980s were marked by a generation of hope, counting in its ranks French basketball icons such as Richard Dacoury, Stéphane Ostrovsky and Hervé Dubuisson. During this decade, France returned to the Olympics and the 1986 FIBA World Championship. During the 1990s, Team France had its moments to shine despite some internal struggles and many injuries for key players. At the European meetings, the team did not win a medal despite some good performances. The years 1999 and 2000, however, marked a turnaround for French basketball. The team built around Ricardo, Tariq Abdul-Wahad, Chiara, Bilba, Fourest finished in the top 4 at the EuroBasket 1999 in France and only lost the bronze medal final to Yugoslavia, despite some internal problems that disrupted the group of players. In 2000, Team France traveled to the Olympics in Sydney, full of ambition, which developed the means for major achievement. At the end of its time in Australia, the selection of Jean-Pierre de Vincenzi won the Olympic silver silver medal, the selection's first top 3 performance at a major basketball event in 46 years and its first Olympic medal in 52 years. After this event, the Olympic vice-champion gained new backbone in Tony Parker, who was selected by the San Antonio Spurs in the 2001 NBA draft. However, at the EuroBasket 2001, without Ricardo, who surprisingly decided to retire from the team after the Olympics, the 19-year-old Parker alone was not enough, as France failed to repeat its outstanding performance at the Olympic Games. France lost the quarterfinals to Germany 77-81 and finished 6th place overall. During this time, most of France's players cleared their spots for a new generation of players, which were available in abundance, as France junior national team had won the 2000 Junior Championship. At the EuroBasket 2003, France competed with an immensely talented squad, which included the NBA players Tony Parker, Jérôme Moiseau and Tariq Abdul-Wahad, future NBA player Boris Diaw and EuroLeague players Laurent Foirest, Cyril Julien and Florent Pietrus. The stated objective was the title, which would come as the second within a short time period to Tony Parker, who had won the NBA title only a few months ago. But despite competing with one of the most promising rosters ever, France lost in the semi-final against Lithuania and then also barely lost the match for third place against Italy, which France had declassified in the preliminary round. At the end, France even failed to qualify for the 2004 Summer Olympics in Athens, hoping not to repeat the disappointing performance of 2003. France's squad undersaw some considerable changes in 2005. Then, for the FIBA EuroBasket 2005 team, France was built based on team chemistry instead of big names. Amongst others, Jérôme Moiseau and Tariq Abdul-Wahad disappeared from the roster, and the newly formed team was built on the 3 NBA players Tony Parker, Boris Diaw, and Michael Pietrus, as well as the returning EuroLeague and NBA veteran Antoine Rigardo. The new coach Claude Bergeau surprisingly also selected Frédéric Weiss, an underachieving player once drafted at the 1999 NBA draft, who did not participate in the team's preparation. After a sobering first round, Team France improved to stunning performances in the playoffs. First, France eliminated world champion Serbia Montenegro on the home court. Then the team defeated the European champion Lithuania. Then, in a semi-final game against Greece where both sides battled each other through tough defense, France failed in the last second after leading by 7 points, 45 seconds before the game ended. Unlike 2003, however, France recovered to win a bronze medal by beating Spain in the small final by more than 30 points. At the World Championship 2006, France competed without Tony Parker, who suffered a twisted finger 2 days before the competition. Because of this, the San Antonio Spurs, who just signed Parker with a €51 million contract, did not allow him to participate. After a first round marked by 3 wins and 2 losses, including a downfall to Lebanon, France beat Angola in the 8th finals 68-62 before losing in the quarterfinals against Greece 56-73. 2 victories in classification matches finally granted the French the 5th place. At the FIBA EuroBasket 2007, France fell behind its aspirations again. After a strong preliminary round, the team was eliminated in the quarterfinals by eventual champion Russia, then was beaten in the classification games by Croatia and Slovenia, finishing in 8th place, missing for the second consecutive time the Olympic Games. In the following months, the team had to go through the ordeal of qualifications to participate in the next FIBA EuroBasket, which was to be held in 2009. In 2008, Michel Gomez returned as coach, a position he has held between 1993 and 1995. As Gomez failed to help the team qualify directly for the European Championship and had to enter a repechage tournament in August 2009, he was replaced by Vincent Collet, coach of ASVEL Lyon-Villeurbanne. Under Collet's direction, the Bleus won the last ticket to the FIBA EuroBasket 2009 by trashing Belgium 92-54 in the final game of the repechage. At the European Championship, France won its first 6 games of the first 2 rounds but failed in the quarter-finals against the eventual tournament champion Spain. Spain ended 4th of the group during the main round due to 2 defeats against Serbia in the first round and Turkey in the second. One main reason for these defeats was certainly the absence of star player Pau Gasol, who missed these games due to finger surgery. The French finally finished in 5th place, a performance which would grant the team the direct qualification for the next 2 major competitions, the World Championship 2010 and FIBA EuroBasket 2011. Led by extraordinary performances by the iconic Tony Parker, France finished second at the FIBA EuroBasket 2011, its best performance in Europe in over 60 years. 2 years later, on the 22nd of September 2013, France beat Lithuania 80-66 to win the 2013 EuroBasket title, its first continental crown. Parker was named the tournament's most valuable player. Competitions: Olympic Games, FIBA World Cup, EuroBasket team. Current roster. The following is the France roster in the men's basketball tournament at the 2016 Summer Olympics. Depth chart: notable players: Jim Bilber, retired, and now an assistant coach at Cholet Basket. Richard Dacoury, retired. Stéphane Ostrovsky, retired. Antoine Rigaudot, retired. Tariq Abdul-Wahad, retired. Jerome Moiseau, retired. Boris Diaw, forward for the Utah Jazz. Nicholas Batum, forward for the Charlotte Hornets. Ian Mahinmi, center for the Washington Wizards. Rodrigue Beaubois, guard for Strasbourg IG. Tony Parker, guard for the San Antonio Spurs. Michael Pietrus, a former guard forward for the Toronto Raptors. Frédéric Weiss, retired. Ronnie Turiaf, a former forward for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Johan Petro, a former center for the Atlanta Hawks. Joachim Noah, center for the New York Knicks. Michael Gelabale, forward for La Mansart. Alexis Ajinka, center for New Orleans Pelicans. Evan Fournier, guard for the Orlando Magic. Rudy Gobert, center for the Utah Jazz. Players with the most caps. Players in bold are players that are still active. Players with the most points scored. Players in bold are players that are still active. Highest individual scoring games. Players in bold are players that are still active. Past rosters: 1935 EuroBasket, finished 5th among 10 teams. Pierre Boel, Robert Coe, Etienne Roland, Raoul Guga, Henry Hell, Charles Hemelin, Francis Rudler, Jacques Fleuret. 1936 Olympic Games, finished 20th among 21 teams. Pierre Boel, Georges Carrier, Robert Coe, Jacques Fleuret, Fernand Prudhomme, Etienne Roland, Lucien Thies, Pierre Cac, Jean Couturier, Edmond Leclerc. Etienne Anonymous. 1937 EuroBasket, finished 3rd among 8 teams. Henry Lesmeau, Etienne Roland, Pierre Boel, Robert Coe, Jacques Fleuret, Henry Hell, Edmond Leclerc, Fernand Prudhomme, Eugene Ronner. Marcel Veron. 1939 EuroBasket, finished 4th among 8 teams. Robert Busnell, Henry Lesmeau, Fernand Prudhomme, Etienne Roland, Robert Coe, Marco, Vladimir Fabricant, Jean Jams, Emile Fraser, Maurice Mertz, Abel Gravier, André Ambroise, Gaston Fauller, Gabriel Gonnet, Alexandra Katlama. 1946 EuroBasket, finished 4th among 10 teams. André Baffier, Robert Busnel, René Choquet, Henri Lesmayu, Paul Chaumont, Jean Duperry, Etienne Roland, Emile Fraser, Maurice Girardot, André Goyuriot, Jacques Perrier, Lucien Rebuffic, Justy Specker, André Tartry. 1947 EuroBasket, finished 5th among 14 teams. Robert Busnel, René Choquet, Marcel Beziers, Henri Lesmayu, Jean Duperry, Jacques Faucher, Jacques Favry, Emile Fraser, Maurice Girardot, André Goyuriot, Amy Gravers, Fernand Giller, Jacques Perrier, Pierre Thoulan. 1948 Olympic Games, finished 2nd among 23 teams. André Baffier, René Choquet, André Barized, Michel Bonnevie, René Derency, Maurice de Simonet, André Even, Fernand Giller, Maurice Girardot, Raymond Offner, Jacques Perrier, Yvan Quenon, Lucien Rebuffic, Pierre Thoulan. 1949 EuroBasket, finished 2nd among 7 teams. André Baffier, Robert Busnel, René Choquet, Jacques Dessemer, Maurice de Simonet, Louis Devotie, Jacques Favry, Jacques Freimuller, Fernand Giller, Jean Pernaceni, Marc Quibelier, Jean-Pierre Salignon, Jean Swedzinski, André Vatres. 1950 World Championship, finished 6th among 10 teams. Jacques Dessemer, Maurice de Simonet, Robert Monclar, Jacques Perrier, Jean Swedzinski, Jean Pernaceni, Fernand Giller, Robert Marzola, Jean-Pierre Salignon, Maurice Marcelot, André Vatres, Jacques Charlie. For 1951 EuroBasket, finished 3rd among 17 teams. André Baffier, René Choquet, Jacques Dessemer, Robert Monclar, Jean-Pierre Salignon, Louis Devotie, Jacques Freimuller, Robert Guilin, Justy Specker, Marc Perron, Jean Pernaceni, Marc Quibelier, Pierre Thoulan, André Vatres. 1952 Olympic Games, finished 8th among 23 teams. André Baffier, René Choquet, Jacques Dessemer, Jean-Pierre Salignon, Louis Devotie, Robert Guilin, Robert Monclar, Jean Pernaceni, Roger Houdegand, André Vatres, Bernard Planck, André Chavet, Robert Crost. 1953 EuroBasket, finished 3rd among 17 teams. André Baffier, René Choquet, Jacques Dessemer, Robert Monclar, Jacques Freimuller, Claude Gillet, Robert Guilin, Roger Houdegand, Jean Pernaceni, Justy Specker, Bernard Planck, Marc Quibelier, Henry Ray, André Vatres. 1954 World Championship, finished 4th among 12 teams. Jean-Paul Bunot, André Baffier, Roger Antoine, Henry Grange, Jacques Dessemer, Robert Monclar, Roger Houdegand, Robert Zagri, Jacques Freimuller, Jean Pernaceni, Henry Ray, Louis Berterel, Paul Schlapp, Yves Gaminon. 1955 EuroBasket, finished 9th among 18 teams. Jean-Paul Bunot, André Baffier, Henry Grange, Robert Monclar, Louis Berterel, Jacques Freimuller, Robert Giraud, Maurice Marcelot, Jacques Owen, Jean Pernaceni, Bernard Planck, Gerard Pontet, Henry Ray, André Vatres. 1956 Olympic Games, finished 4th among 15 teams. Jean-Paul Bunot, Roger Antoine, Henry Grange, Robert Monclar, Roger Houdegand, Christian Baltzer, Roger Veyron, Gerard Sterler, Henry Ray, Yves Gaminon, Maurice Buffier, André Schlapp. 1957 EuroBasket, finished 8th among 16 teams. Roger Antoine, Henry Grange, Christian Baltzer, Robert Monclar, Louis Berterel, Maurice Buffier, Claude Dezoe, Roger Guillaume, Jean-Claude Lefebvre, Bernard Maillard, Gerard Sterler, Roger Veyron. 1959 EuroBasket, finished 3rd among 17 teams. Henry Grange, Maxime Dorigo, Philippe Baillet, Henry Vilcourt, Christian Baltzer, Robert Monclar, André André Chavet, Jerome Christ, Jean-Claude Lefebvre, Bernard Maillard, Michel Rudd, Lucien Sedat. 1959 World Championship, did not participate. 1960 Olympic Games, finished 10th among 16 teams. Jean-Paul Bunot, Roger Antoine, Henry Grange, Robert Monclar, Henry Vilcourt, Maxime Dorigo, Jerome Christ, Jean de Gros, Christian Baltzer, Bernard Maillard, Philippe Bailey, Louis Bertrel. 1961 EuroBasket, finished 4th among 19 teams. Jean-Paul Bunot, Henry Grange, Jerome Christ, Lucien Sedat, Bernard Maillard, Michel Rudd, Michel House, Michel Leray, Christian Baltzer, André Goisba, Jean-Claude Verne, André Souvre. 1963 EuroBasket, finished 13th among 16 teams. Alain Giles, Jean de Gros, Christian Baltzer, Michel Rudd, Jean-Claude Lefebvre, Claude Marc, Jean-Claude Bonato, Jacques Abel, Jean-Pierre Goisba, Jean-Baptiste, Michel Orduro, Philippe Bailey. 1963 World Championship, finished 5th among 13 teams. Alain Giles, Jean de Gros, Henry Grange, Christian Baltzer, Maxime Dorigo, Jean-Daniel Vincent, Michel Leray, Bernard Maillard, Jean-Baptiste, Jean-Claude Lefebvre, Michel Rudd, Raphael Ruiz. 1964 Olympic Games, did not participate. 1965 EuroBasket, finished 9th among 16 teams. Alain Giles, Jean-Claude Bonato, Jean de Gros, Michel Leray, Alain Scholl, Daniel Ledant, Jean-Marie Duarit, Hubert Papin, Laurent Dorigo, Gerard Capron, Ferruccio Biasucci, Maurice Boulois. 1967 EuroBasket, finished 11th among 16 teams. Alain Giles, Jean de Gros, Alain Scholl, Jean-Pierre Stalins, Michel Leray, Jean-Claude Bonato, Francis Schneider, Charles Tassin, Michel Longueville, Gerard Lespinasse, Claude Peter, Alain Durand. 1967 World Championship, did not participate. 1968 Olympic Games, did not participate. 1969 EuroBasket, did not participate. 1970 World Championship, did not participate. 1971 EuroBasket, finished 10th among 12 teams. Jacques Cachemeyer, Alain Giles, Jean-Pierre Stalins, Jean-Claude Bonato, Daniel Ledant, Charles Tassin, Alain Durand, Carlo Wilm, Claude Gasnel, Bernard Magnard, Michel Longueville, Gerard Lespinasse. 1972 Olympic Games, did not participate. 1973 EuroBasket, finished 10th among 12 teams. Jacques Cachemeyer, Jean-Claude Bonato, Jean-Michel Sénégal, Pierre Gall, Daniel Ledant, Charles Tassin, Yves-Marie Varove, Jean-Louis Vacher, Jackie Lamotte, Claude Gasnel, Firmin Onissa, Patrick Demars. 1974 World Championship, did not participate. 1975 EuroBasket, did not participate. 1976 Olympic Games, did not participate. 1977 EuroBasket, finished 11th among 12 teams. Hervé Dubuisson, Jacques Cachemeyer, Eric Bunot, Alain Giles, Mathieu Bisseny, Barry White, Alain Larouquis, Alain Durand, Didier Dobbles, Jackie Lamotte, Roger Duquesnoy, Jean-Louis Vacher. 1978 World Championship, did not participate. 1979 EuroBasket, finished 8th among 12 teams. Hervé Dubuisson, Jacques Cachemeyer, Eric Bunot, Jean-Michel Sénégal, Jacques Monclar, Mathieu Bisseny, Victor Boistel, Apollo Faye, Saint-Onge Verboog, Bill Kane, Georges Brosterhouse, Jackie Lamotte. 1980 Olympic Games, did not participate. 1981 EuroBasket, finished 8th among 12 teams. Philippe Cizaniel, Jacques Cachemeyer, Richard Dacoury, Hervé Dubuisson, Frédéric Huffnagel, Jacques Monclar, Eric Bunot, Jean-Michel Sénégal, Jean-Luc Degarnis, Patrick Cham, Didier Dobbles, Jackie Lamotte. 19 1982 World Championship, did not participate. 1983 EuroBasket, finished 5th among 12 teams. Philipps's Aniel, Hervé Dubuisson, Richard Dacoury, Jacques Cachemire, Eric Bunot, Georges Vestris, Jean-Michel Sénégal, Apollo Faye, Jacques Monclar, Alain Larouquois, Georges Brosterhouse, Daniel Haquet. 1984 Olympic Games, finished 11th among 12 teams. Richard Dacoury, Philipps's Aniel, Stéphane Ostrovsky, Hervé Dubuisson, Eric Bunot, Greg Bunot, Jean-Michel Sénégal, Jacques Monclar, Georges Vestris, Bengali Kaba, Jean-Luc Deganis, Patrick Cham. 1985 EuroBasket, finished 6th among 12 teams. Philipps's Aniel, Stéphane Ostrovsky, Hervé Dubuisson, Frédéric Huffnagel, Jacques Monclar, Valérie Demery, Frank Cassalan, Patrick Cham, Christophe Grégoire, Daniel Haquet, Christian Garnier, Jean-Louis Hirschen. 1986 World Championship, finished 13th among 24 teams. Richard Dacoury, Stéphane Ostrovsky, Hervé Dubuisson, Frédéric Huffnagel, Valérie Demery, Jacques Monclar, Jean-Luc Deganis, Eric Bunot, Georges Vestris, Patrick Cham, Christian Garnier, Daniel Haquet. 1987 EuroBasket, finished 9th among 12 teams. Hervé Dubuisson, Richard Dacoury, Stéphane Ostrovsky, Frédéric Huffnagel, Valérie Demery, Jean-Luc Deganis, Eric Bunot, Georges Vestris, Patrick Cham, Jean-Frédéric Monetti, Pierre Bressand, Jean-Louis Hirschen. 1988 Olympic Games, did not participate. 1989 EuroBasket, finished 6th among 8 teams. Hervé Dubuisson, Richard Dacoury, Stéphane Ostrovsky, Jim Bilber, Frédéric Huffnagel, Greg Bunot, Frank Butter, Georges Vestris, Stéphane Lauverne, Stanley Jackson, Eric Hawkinsey, Patrick Cham. 1990 World Championship, did not participate. 1991 EuroBasket, finished 4th among 8 teams. Antoine Rigaud, Richard Dacoury, Philipps's Aniel, Jim Bilber, Stéphane Ostrovsky, Hugues Hawkinsey, Didier Gadou, Frédéric Forte, Valérie Demery, George Adams, Félix Courtenard, Jim Deans. 1992 Olympic Games, did not participate. 1993 EuroBasket, finished 7th among 16 teams. Antoine Rigaud, Jan Bonato, Stéphane Ostrovsky, Jim Bilber, Thierry Gadou, Frédéric Forte, George Adams, Olivier Line, Christophe Sol, Stéphane Rysaka, Bruno Coquelin, Félix Courtenard, Jean-Baptiste Ellicott. 1994 World Championship, did not participate. 1995 EuroBasket, finished 8th among 14 teams. Antoine Rigaud, Jan Bonato, Jim Bilber, Stéphane Ostrovsky, Hugues Hawkinsey, Thierry Gadou, Didier Gadou, Frédéric Forte, Mustafa Sonko, Bruno Ham, Frank Butter, Frédéric Domon. 1996 Olympic Games, did not participate. 1997 EuroBasket, finished 10th among 16 teams. Jan Bonato, Laurent Chiara, Frédéric Forthu, Laurent Foirist, Stéphane Rysaka, Thierry Gadou, George Adams, Laurent Plouvy, Fabien Dubos, Cyril Julien, Remy Ripit, Jérôme Moiseau. 1998 World Championship, did not participate. 1999 EuroBasket, finished 4th among 16 teams. Tariq Abdul-Wahad, Antoine Rigaud, Alain Digbeau, Jim Bilber, Ronnie Smith, Mustafa Sonko, Stéphane Rysaka, Frédéric Weiss, Laurent Foirist, Laurent Chiara, Thierry Gadou, Cyril Julien. 2000 Olympic Games, finished 2nd among 12 teams. Antoine Rigaud, Jan Bonato, Jim Bilber, Stéphane Rysaka, Mustafa Sonko, Frédéric Weiss, Cyril Julien, Laurent Chiara, Laurent Foirist. Thierry Gadou, Crawford Palmer, Makanju Massi 2001 EuroBasket, finished 6th among 16 teams. Tony Parker, Alain Digbayo, Jim Bilba, Stéphane Rysaka, Vasco Evtimov, Frédéric Weiss, Cyril Julien, Laurent Chiara, Laurent Foirest, Crawford Palmer, Eric Maikoud. Makanju Massi 2002 World Championship, did not participate. 2003 EuroBasket, finished 4th among 16 teams. Tony Parker, Tariq Abdul-Wahad, Boris Diaw, Florent Pietrus, Ronnie Turiaf, Mustafa Sonko, Jerome Moiso, Cyril Julien, Alain Digbayo, Laurent Foirest, Thierry Rupert. Makanju Massi 2004 Olympic Games, did not participate. 2005 EuroBasket, finished 3rd among 16 teams. Tony Parker, Boris Diaw, Antoine Rigaud, Michael Pietrus, Michael Gelabale, Florent Pietrus, Cyril Julien, Frédéric Weiss, Frédéric Forthu, Mamu Otto Diarra, Sasha Giffer, Jerome Schmidt. 2006 World Championship, finished 5th among 24 teams. Boris Diaw, Florent Pietrus, Michael Pietrus, Ronnie Turiaf, Michael Gelabale, Aymeric Janus, Mamu Otto Diarra, Laurent Foirest, Frédéric Weiss, Johan Petro, Yannick Boccolo, Joseph Gomes. 2007 EuroBasket, finished 8th among 16 teams. Tony Parker, Boris Diaw, Tariq Kirksar, Ronnie Turiaf, Jack Ubadiawara, Florent Pietrus, Frédéric Weiss, Joseph Gomes, Johan Sangare, Sasha Giffer, Pepe Badian, Cedric Furshaw. 2008 Olympic Games, did not participate. 2009 EuroBasket, finished 5th among 16 teams. Tony Parker, Boris Diaw, Nicolas Batum, Ronnie Turiaf, Florent Pietrus, Ali Traoré, Antoine Dio, Yannick Boccolo, Alain Kofi, Nando De Colo, Aymeric Janus. Ian Mahinmi. 2010 World Championship, finished 13th among 24 teams. Nicolas Batum, Boris Diaw, Florent Pietrus, Nando De Colo, Ali Traoré, Michael Gelabale, Yannick Boccolo, Ian Mahinmi, Alain Kofi, Andrew Albc, Edwin Jackson, Fabian Causa. 2011 EuroBasket, finished 2nd among 24 teams. Tony Parker, Nicolas Batum, Boris Diaw, Florent Pietrus, Nando De Colo, Ali Traoré, Michael Gelabale, Joachim Noah, Kevin Serafin, Charles Kahudi, Andrew Albc, Steve Chikambu. 2012 Olympic Games, finished 6th among 12 teams. Kevin Serafin, Nicolas Batum, Fabian Causa, Jack Ubadiawara, Ali Traoré, Tony Parker, Yannick Boccolo, Florent Pietrus, Nando De Colo, Boris Diaw, Ronnie Turiaf, Michael Gelabale. Media coverage. France's matches are currently televised by Canal+. Kits applies. Between 2003 and 2013, France's kit were supplied by Nike. From 2014 onwards, France's kit will be supplied by Adidas.